Hi everyone, I'm here with Wayne Martin, who's the outgoing president but still going to be head of the promotions at Nelson Speedway. We're just going to talk about our upcoming season, what we've got on the calendar. It's looking pretty jam-packed. Obviously we're kicking off on the 15th of October with opening night and our Trackman Trophy. What have we sort of got to look forward to over the season, Wogg?
Good mixture, eh? We've got the two-nighter of sprint cars in December, which is the Sunshine Classic. So we decided to make that 2 nights and to attract some more drivers and hopefully a bit of North Island competitors coming down for that. So that was traditionally the Stampede weekend. So we moved the Stampede to the other end of the season, primarily to catch a few cars coming back from Battle of Stocks.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Steve Lennon about that, and he's all good. So we struggled to get cars here for the Stampede early in the season. So it's a bit of more of a strategic
If they're coming
change.
down for 2 meetings rather than the one. It's sort of bang for their buck on the ferry a bit more, isn't it?
Yeah, and so we've got crowd favourites, you have fireworks and derbies and that kind of thing. It's a pretty full season. We've got 4 South Island titles that we didn't run this season, obviously. So, and 4 good classes, super stock cars, street stock, super saloons.
Yeah.
So, just trying to fit that in. It's been a bit tricky. We've had to last month or so work with. There's a new super saloon series starting this year, which is being backed by Black Baldy Cattle Company. So they've came to us and they're going to run a series over a fortnight, and Nelson's going to be the final round. So which is good for us.
Yeah.
Get the final amount of cars coming. Ricky Bolton and Campbell McManaway being a big part of that in the background, and it's all going to be televised through the pits and the media and that sort of thing. So it's could be quite a big deal for us and for the club. We've struggled for numbers here, that class, but it's always historically still been a big part of our club. So we're all for that, getting on board with that. So, and obviously with the South Island saloons, super saloons, so we've changed a few dates around a few weeks ago just to make it happen, really. So so that should be quite a good deal. Like I say, Stampede towards the end of the year in middle of March. We're sort of hoping that's gonna, and the weather should be a bit more settled then. We had a few problems around November time with rain and carry on, and of course COVID, which has been the bugbear of
hopefully that one
every
doesn't
track
show
in the
up
country.
this season. So obviously pretty much every class has got their own sort of promotion this season, including the classes that don't really get much seat time here, which is pretty cool. So what have we got to look forward to sort of before Christmas comes around?
Obviously Trackman Trophy opening night. We introduced the Trackman Trophies a few years ago when Murray was alive, the old track prepper guy, and then once he passed away we just decided to carry on with it. The idea was if we put up trophies on opening night, to try and encourage the cars to get out onto the track for opening night, so just to get the competitors, give them some incentive to be there. And double points too, for season points. So and then following that, the fireworks, which is actually on Guy Fawkes Day, I think, time for once. So and we was run beside that the racing for the kids, which is our Child Cancer Foundation fundraiser. So which means both the kids classes race that night, the youth winning stocks and the quarter midgets. So
we were pretty successful with some fundraising for that last year, weren't we?
It's good charity. This is what the club's about. We're a family entertainment. So that's our go-to charity. It has been for a while. So it's and it just means we're giving some back to the community. We're not just a sport that takes. We like to give back. So we've done our fair share over the years, but that has definitely been our go-to charity for a while now. So Stock Car SummerSlam, which I know is a favourite of yours. It was a good initiative, I think, last season to bring that in. It's a best peers deal. They came to us with the peers, so you go away and find a partner and then come to us, and actually put on some good racing.
It was really good, and I think we had 20 cars show up for it, which for us is a decent field at the moment with our sort of lack of numbers. So yeah, for us local competitors, it's a good draw card, and I think everyone enjoyed the format. It was something different, which is cool.
Yeah. So obviously after the SummerSlam, we move into the sprint car deal, the 2 night sprint cars, and Kevin's working pretty hard in the background, getting some big name drivers here, especially North Island guys. And even the guys. There's a lot of sprint cars there in Cromwell, Invercargill way. So we just. If you want to get them here, you need to put the 2 days on. Just to make it worth it for them to turn up. So,
and obviously we're allowed to run the 2-day events now. This season and last season, it's been a good boost. To be able to do that as well.
Yeah, and it's worked well. The new consent, isn't it? Like it's we're compliant in all aspects of it, which means we can just box on now and do what we do. 100%. So so that sprint car deal will be quite good. It'll be an open wheel deal. I think we've actually even got 6 shooters coming up for that as well. Just they've sort of shown an interest. So and same thing, because they can run 2 days, then they're quite happy to come up.
Something different for our crowd as well, who probably haven't seen them before. Yeah,
definitely. And obviously that's all. Those shows before Christmas. And it's then straight after Christmas on the 29th, the Demolition Derby is always a crowd favourite, and especially that time of year, we've got a lot of holiday makers here in Nelson, so the Derby seems to pull a crowd. So last year we had a Derby at Easter, and we never had such a big crowd, did we? It was massive, but it just came out of the blue. I was just standing there, I was blown away like this.
It's pretty funny how it works out that people show up in these $1,000 bangers, and it draws our biggest crowd of the season. But
it's our cheapest night as a promotion, but it draws the biggest crowd.
People love watching them wreck each other.
Yeah, for us purist Speedway people, we're just going,
something for everyone.
Yeah, but the mum, dad, and the kids love it. So so straight after that, and then to get into January, we said we've got the new the Black Baldy Cattle Company Extreme Super Saloon deal. Like I said, it's 2 weeks. They travel around the South Island. I do know. Talking to Ricky the other day, he's got cars signed up from North Island already. So it's going to be pretty wicked. Nights racing. Like I say, it's the final round 2 here, so people will get to see who actually wins the series. So
it'll be nice for our local guys who have sort of struggled to get meetings in here just due to lack of numbers, to actually have a decent field here for them to race with as well.
Likes of Ian Burson, who travels around the country year after year, and he loves racing at home. He just doesn't get that much of a chance. So having guys like him racing at home, and the Dave Veneras and those guys. They all put a bit into the club. They don't get much out of it, so it's good to give a bit back. And so and then obviously after that, February we've got our Club Champs night, which is a night just all the classes that race that night will be racing their Club Champs. And then we start getting into the championship part of the year. South Island Superstock Champs here on the 18th of February. Hoping that. The numbers have been struggling. I know even Christchurch are struggling a bit. So I'm hearing if there's a few cars in the sheds that are coming out this year, new drivers.
They've just got to come out.
Which is what we want. And we need to get that class back up and running as best we can. We need that. We want to have that title back here in a couple of years, and we need to get those cars out of the sheds and on the track, and just try and get that interest back. So. And then following that, the South Island Super Saloon Champs. So we moved that. The date was initially a bit earlier in the season, but we moved that because of the series. And also that a couple of weeks before that, they raced in New Zealand's and the GP down south. So we might get a few of those hang around as well on the way back from the North Island and stuff. So. And then South Island Stock Car Champs, which is one you'll be looking forward to.
Ooh, can't wait.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it this year, but it never happened. So it'll be good, and hopefully we draw another big field for that one as well, which I'm sure we will. The numbers are pretty strong.
Yeah, it sounds like the stock car class is starting to pick up again, which is good. I know that even this season there was talk of getting the Thunder back together, so we'll see what happens there. It'd be good if that happens. Like, we've been a bit starved of teams racing here in Nelson for a number of years now, with Thunder and Tigers obviously. So. Nelson Knight's been holding their own though. They've been going pretty good in the street stock class, but we know Nelson's always been a stock car track, and our fans come for that. So
hopefully with the numbers boosting and teams racing hopefully showing up again, it just brings the bigger crowds again as well.
Yeah, just like the old days. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And then straight after that, we get into the Stampede, which, sponsored PTS. They've been on board with that from day one, and they've been good sponsors. And like I say, we moved that to the other end of the season, primarily to get more cars here and hopefully pick up a few that want to stay for a week after the Battle of Stocks in Christchurch, So
that's good
it's
plan.
just more of a strategic plan,
Yeah.
just moving it. And we had a bit of a crunch with the sprint car deal and the Stampede, and we kind of thought, let's just move it. So.
It's worth a shot, Like you say, it's sort of been a bit low in numbers the last couple of seasons, so
yeah, and we
there
had
we go.
we had COVID, we had rain outs, and that we had trouble getting that meeting off the ground, and it went good last season, and it was good having a local win it last year, obviously, but the year before that with Harley winning it. So it's started, hopefully we're just going to build on that. We want it to be our sort of ultimate super stock event every year. So.
And a lot of the super stock guys talk about they really enjoy racing here, so it's just about actually getting them here. And
and of course the social side of it afterwards. Nelson's always nationwide known that we put on a good deal
party.
after the meeting as well. So
it's worth the trip.
Definitely. And then we'll close out the season really with we've got the street stock champs on the 1st of April, the South Islands. They've been the entertainers.
They have
the last couple
good
of years.
Numbers. Yeah. Lots of action. More
and
than us.
and that was proven at the prize giving we had, with Brian Musgrove getting the big prize, and and those street stocks have really come to the fore.
They have.
And I think the numbers are looking pretty good again this next season as well. And then obviously we just, same as every year, we're going to finish off with Easter meeting, which is only one meeting obviously because we can only have two night meetings during the season. So, and we're going to run that on the Sunday because obviously the one we just had this Sunday was when we got the big crowd. We're just going to hopefully run with we'll get the same sort of crowd for that and finish the season with a bang as normal. And all we need now is good weather and the COVID thing to stay away. We'll be good.
And competitors getting their cars out of the sheds.
Yeah, definitely.
It's looking pretty action-packed, so...
looking forward to it, It's going to be, obviously, for myself, stepping back, it's going to be pretty good. It's just not going to have the stresses and worries on race day anymore. So
well, I don't know. It depends what those two boys do on the track.
Yeah, true.
No, but it'd be nice for you to sort of focus on the boys racing a little bit more on it, and not be everyone's beck and call during a meeting so much.
And that was pretty much the reason behind stepping back from the president's seat. It was a couple of times this season and was trying to get them sorted for their race, and then I'm getting people, you need it at the bottom of the tower, and probably run out of toilet paper somewhere or something stupid like that, and it's just like, and one of my drivers gets a bit funny if I'm not there, so it's like, okay, something had to give, so it's it's about time to step back a bit and let someone else take control.
You've certainly done your part, and family comes first at the end of the day. So
7 years as a president, so I've done my bit.
It's a long time.
But I'm not walking away. I'm still going to be working in the background as a promoter, and we're helping with promotions and stuff, and because obviously I have that good connect with other track promoters and other tracks and the delegates, so so we'll just carry on there and help out. I don't want to put Wayne Russ in that position either, he's coming in as a new president. He's never done it before, and I remember when I took over, I was leaning on the ex-presidents myself, like Sandra and a few others. So, and I'll be the same. I'll be there to help out.
It's invaluable, isn't it? Your years of experience doing it, and
it's a bit different, like even yesterday we're at the funeral and a couple of things going on, and someone said, what are you going to do? I was like, nothing. I don't have to do anything anymore. It's quite good.
Must feel quite weird. Like your natural instinct must be to go and help, but you're like, actually, no, it's not me anymore.
It's going to be tricky stepping back. But, like I say, on race day, it's we turn up the track race day, especially the kids are racing. I don't have to worry about anything about them. So
and it's in good hands with Russell moving forward. He's super organised and onto it. So. And
it's good to see all the committee carry on, like yourself and Caleb having some young blood in there, and it's good to have that in there and sort of step up. We've got a good committee working. Russell's pretty lucky, like he's got a lot of people there that that are going to back him up and
sort of cover all aspects of what needs to be done. You've got the people that run the working bees, you've got the volunteer people, you've got the people that can do the social media side of
Yeah.
things. It's a good,
It's a
good
good
range.
mix. Good
Yeah,
mix. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, different skill set. Everyone brings something different to the table, and that's what you want, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sure.
yeah, no, it's the committee last year. Obviously, I gave them the President's Cup last year for that reason. You know, they all, you know, we were running without a crowd a couple of times. It was a big call to do that for us as a club, you know, even financially. But we just had to do what was right for our competitors and our members, and you know, so we had to sort of think on our feet a wee bit. So
it all worked out.
Yeah,
Luckily.
it was good.
Yeah,
Definitely.
No, and as a competitor on the committee, it's sort of, you know, seeing the background of what goes into those decisions, but then, you know, also really grateful that we did just get to race, you know, whether there's a crowd there or not. Like, yeah, it adds to the experience as a competitor, but that's actually not the main reason we do it. We just love being on that track racing, and you don't want a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 race car sitting there that's just sitting
and I
there.
think that was a big part of it, of that decision to run. You know, we were a bit worried that competitors are going to go and find something else to do, you know. They've got a car sitting there that they've got so much invested in not doing anything with it, you know. So
it's a lot of money tied up if you're not using it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the reasons why we decided we just had to go racing. So, at the end of the day, we still sitting pretty good financially. We come through it pretty well, I think, compared to other tracks around the country. So we sort of so for me to step away now was actually last time when I had a year off. The club was going through the whole thing with the neighbours, and that was kind of just starting to kick off, and it wasn't really a good time to move on. But I think now the club's sitting in a good position.
You're leaving
so
in a good
I'm
place.
happy although I'm still struggling to stay away. It's,
we're going to have to ban you. Just start turning up at committee meetings because you miss us all.
I know.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm sure the boys have got lots to say, and they'll be glad to have Dad around a bit more and getting those cars a bit faster is what I've heard.
Yep.
So we'll have a chat with them next and
just
see.
More money, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what you got to work for, isn't it?
Oh no, the boys. I was pretty proud of the boys this year. They both aimed up. They just getting better and better. You know, that's all we ask of them. They go out there and just beat your last lap time or whatever. And Lockie's starting to be. You know, he's pretty competitive. He's near the front of the field now, so he's racing with his elbows up, and he's not afraid to have a go. So it's, as a father, you spend all their time in the shed and trying to give them the best car you can give them. Unfortunately, Taylor's car has been playing up a bit and sort of chasing a miss, but he jumped in his brother's car at Westport and surprised us all and ended up fourth in one of the races. I was like, oh no,
who gets what car.
I know. I was like, oh yeah, damn, you can't blame his driving. So,
no, you can't. Yeah. No, but they've got a great attitude, and they love the sport. They live and breathe the sport, really, don't they? So.
I don't think they had a choice. You know, third generation drivers.
Yeah.
That was always going to happen. Yeah, it'd just be interesting to see where they want to head.
Yeah.
You know, later on. So.
Well, they've already told me they're bringing back teams racing to Nelson. So Nelson
there's a
Tigers.
whole heap of kids that I know with the Higgins boys and the and the Bursons and all those kids that all want to bring the Tigers back. So hopefully that'll happen.
It'll be like a second generation team in 10 years' time, and
I'll definitely be keen on.
It'll be awesome.
Get that sorted.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of all the competitors and committee and everyone, thank you for your time in charge. It's been really awesome. Obviously, I come along to Nelson, and you weren't in charge the year I turned up. You had your year off, but you jumped back in the hot seat and sorted everything out. So you know, the club's been lucky to have you, and I know you've probably got a few grey hairs because of it, but no.
Listen a bit too.
Yeah. But hey, now looking forward, you can help your boys out a bit more, and you know.
Yeah, it was a couple of stressful years. You know, we're going through the consent with the hearing and all that. You know, and especially the burden financially on the club was a bit hard to sort of. You know, as a volunteer, you shouldn't have to go through that because there's a lot of stress that you don't need in your life.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so.
It's not like it's work that you go and do and you're getting stressed out.
Oh no, like I said, it's all worked out really well.
Yeah.
So I'm just really happy now just to hand it over and someone else. You know, I've had when I first took over, I had a building burned down and with a corporate box, and then we had another fire. And,
oh dear. Well, we're looking better now, so good luck for the season with the kids. Hopefully hopefully they don't talk your ear off too much and just get out there and drive, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be it's going to be an awesome season for the club. You know, you can just see this. Just you know, like I said, if the weather plays ball and COVID stays away, it will be just be another back to doing what we do best.
Exactly. Bring it on.
Well, thank you.
Cool. Thanks.